It happened an hour ago, but I'm still in shock and shaking because I can't imagine what life will be like now. There are two situations that led to today's screw-up. First, I asked my wife's sister to borrow her 360 degrees camera for a trip my wife and I were planning. I discovered there was something on the memory card. Her husband is often on the road, and she made an hour-long 360 degrees POV porn video, presumably to send it to him. I've been pinning for her for the last 8 years. Before she got married and I got married, we had a few moments of near intimacy. We lived together as roommates for a year, watching movies, having dinner, breakfast, drinks together, and so on. At the time, I was dating my future wife, and she was working in another city, so trust had developed because nothing had ever happened between me and her sister, or maybe it was a test. But my God, if she just touched my hand back then, my whole life would have turned out differently. And then finding that video, it was like unearthing a sack of gold. I could have gotten what I'd always fantasized about while still living my normal, happy life. Second situation. We have a smart home system with geolocation. With Apple HomeKit, you can track the location of your family and friends. The free version only allows you to add one person, so for me, that's my wife. We've had this app for 3 years now, and even though it's been updated and there's a different app, we continue to use it because it's so convenient to keep track of each other using notifications. I get a notification when she arrives at work, and she gets a notification when I arrive. And when we get home, we each get notifications. It's convenient when, for example, she comes home from the store and I immediately go out to help her with the bags. Or when I leave work late, she sees a notification and makes dinner. Yesterday, she went to bed without charging her phone. It's annoying when she forgets. Today, she went to work with a nearly dead battery. What if she needs to call an ambulance or the police? I have a day off today. That was the day I was going to do what I had planned. And it wasn't just watching a 360 video. It was actually in VR in bed with AirPods to get the full experience. For me, it would have lasted 5 minutes at most. But the foreplay she recorded was long and boring. And then, when it came down to it, that's when I started. My wife's phone didn't send me a notification because the battery was low. She comes into the bedroom and sees me masturbating in VR. She knows I masturbate occasionally, but she's never seen me doing it. I usually hide somewhere. But we never brought up VR porn in those conversations like, will it be considered cheating if, you know, the kind of conversations like, is using a sex doll cheating? Is using a robot cheating? What if I put on a masturbator and someone else masturbates me with it online? And so on and so forth. It was one of those conversations we had at the very beginning of our relationship, when we were still friends, 10 years ago, to see how far we could go. I know it's weird, but let's say it was one of those preliminary conversations, to test each other out, to see if we shared similar views on life, before we committed to a serious relationship. And those conversations weren't just about sex, by the way. Anyway, VR practically didn't exist back then, so we never discussed it. And I didn't know for sure whether it was normal or abnormal. But now I realize it was abnormal, judging by the way she flew in and yanked the glasses off my head. And only then did I realize she was in the room. "What the fuck?" she says. Then she looks inside. "Is that my sister?" I'm fucked. She hadn't even taken off her shoes yet, so she just flew out of the house with her bag and the VR glasses. And now I see in the app that she's with her parents. Her sister lives in the house next door. I'm fucked.